Hey, how's it going? John from Branson, Cerakote here. We're going to do a quick video today, probably be about 3 to 5 minutes, hopefully no longer than that, on prepping stainless steel tumblers for coating. We've kind of covered it in a couple of other videos where we've done these tumblers, but I thought we'd do it kind of a standalone video where if someone has any questions, they can just go to that video instead of having to watch the other ones. So it's just going to be basically about taping off the mouth, acetone, and then the sandblasting. So that's all I'll cover. I won't cover really anything with spraying or stenciling, anything like that. But if you have any questions about those specific things or anything after that, then just message me or email us at bransonscerakote@yahoo.com, and I'd be more than happy to answer those. I'm going to shut the camera off for a sec, get it repositioned down here on the bench where you can kind of see my hands and what I'm doing, and we'll go from there. Okay, so the first thing I do, obviously, peel the label off that comes on this. We use almost always in the shop the Ozark Trail mugs. They're just as good as the Yetis. There's plenty of videos out there, people talking about those and how they compare to the Yetis and the Arctics and things like that. So I won't get into that, but that's what we use here in the shop. Unless somebody wants something specific, then we'll order those and coat those for them. First thing I do after peeling the label, just get a plain paper towel, soak it down pretty good with some acetone, and just give it a really good rub on the outside. Obviously don't forget the bottom. And that's really all you need to do degreasing wise. It's such a smooth surface that it really doesn't hold a lot of oil or anything like that. So really all you're doing is getting the glue that they held the label on with and things like that off of it. So that's about all you need to do. What I do, and like I've said in other videos, there are other people doing different things, and I'm not saying that our way is the only way, but this is just what works for us. But next, I take a strip of high heat tape and run it around the lip. And this is 1/2 inch high heat tape. And what that'll end up doing in the end is leaving you with a band of stainless steel around the top. I think it looks good, and it also gives you something for your hanger to grip to, and your tape that you tape off the inside, and also it just keeps people from having Cerakote where their lips are going to be. And the only key there is just make sure that your ends match up when you get around to where you started, so that you don't have a kind of a weird ridge there. One strip all the way around does it. And then I take just regular frog painter's tape, and I'll mask off the inside and leave just a little bit hanging over the top lip that I can then fold over to meet that high heat tape. And that just protects that rim while you're sandblasting, and it also gives the clamp system that I've got, that I use for these cups, something to grab onto. And it's not a big deal if you're not uniform all the way around, as long as you don't go below the blue, which is your masking line for your Cerakote. It's not a big deal. It doesn't have to be pretty. Okay, so we've got that masked off all the way around. You can also mask off this bottom, where the cup, the seal for the cup. You can mask this bottom part off. I've done that on cups and it ends up looking really nice. In this particular case, the customer doesn't want that, so we're not going to do that. I have gotten sets of these kind of rubber tipped clamps from a local company. It's a store here we have here that's in our outlet mall. It's similar to Harbor Freight. It's called Tool Town. They're just little spring-loaded, kind of tension-loaded clamps, and then I just wired them together. And that's all I use for hanging cups. So what I normally will do, find the logo, put one clamp there, and then one the opposite side. And again, all that really, the only reason why I do that is when it's laying flat, you don't have the logo taking up part of your surface that you're going to try to stencil on. After that, peel off a piece of tape long enough to go across the middle. And again, just making sure that you don't go below your blue line. And then take off several smaller pieces and lay them on there and fold them over. And what that's going to do is just seal off this top area so you don't get any of your abrasion media down in there in your sandblast cabinet. And then, later on Cerakote. So, it doesn't have to be airtight or anything like that. You're just trying to, create basically a dust barrier. And that is basically it, as far as prepping the cup for sandblasting and coating. So that's pretty much it for prepping cups. I sand them at 40 psi, and that brings up a good point of something I've never really covered in the videos, but one of our viewers actually contacted me and asked me a specific question about that. Not trying to be condescending or telling you something you don't already know, but just covering things for people that don't know. There's a huge difference between working PSI and PSI on your gauge. So, if you have a regulator on the wall at your sandblast cabinet and you've got it set on 40 PSI, you're probably sanding at about 30, 32 PSI by the time you hit your pedal or your trigger on your sand gun, your nozzle in your cabinet. So, just something you need to be cognizant of. Set it on 45 psi. Push your pedal down and see how much it drops to you, and keep adjusting until you get to that 40 psi, or 45 to 50 psi for polymers, and 80 to 90 psi for your metals on your firearms. So, same thing with your spray guns and your spray booth. If you're spraying it, you're supposed to be spraying at 20 psi and you've got it set 20 psi at the valve. As soon as you crack that open, it's going to drop down to about 17, 15 psi, and you're going to have problems with running and sputtering and things like that at your gun. So just a quick tip on operating PSI versus PSI at the valve. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps, give some tips and things. Please don't forget to share, like, subscribe, and comment. Comments help us out a lot. It gives me a lot of ideas. I run out of things to talk about and to do videos on, and the comments are helping me a lot with that. I want to keep this channel going and show you guys more things that you're interested in, but I need to know what you're interested in. Otherwise, I just end up continuously doing things that I think that you'd be interested in seeing. So please do that. If you have any stencil needs, please see us at bransonscerakote.com. Click on the shop. There's normally a coupon code at the very top of the page for 10% off any order over $25, and we do add a free tracking number for any order over $12. So again, thanks for watching and have a great day.